Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I like to do an animal that everyone is familiar with. I want to show you how to do an alligator, and I will show you how to do that from start to finish. And I think it's a really cool animal. I mean, they do live down in like Florida and Louisiana and some of those areas, and they're a cool animal. I will show you the types of clay that you can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which can be used over and over again. It never hardens. And I've mentioned in the past that this is the kind of clay that I used to use when I was a kid, and I loved it because, you know, once I get tired of something, I could just make something else, and it came in different colors and things, and you can mix them, and you can do some really cool things with it. Another type of clay that you can use is an air hardening clay, such as this, which can harden in 2 hours or overnight, and then you can paint it, and it's a good clay to use. The only disadvantage is you can't use it again. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, and what I love about this is you can cook it in the oven at 275 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes. You can sand it, drill it. You can do a tremendous amount of detail. I'll show you the size balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. This size here, this is what we'll use for the body, and I'll show you how to shape that. And then we're going to be using 4 smaller balls of clay, this size right here, and those we'll be using for the front and back legs. And then we'll be using these 2 small balls of clay, and we'll be using those for the eyes. I will have a little extra clay on the side, and I'll be using that for the nostrils, and I'll show you how to do those. I'll show you the first step in the process is we want to make the body of the alligator. So I'll show you here, we want to make this right here. This right here, the mouth, the head, the body, and the tail. And I'll show you how to go about doing that. One of the things that you can do is take this ball of clay here. If you want, just kind of roll it a little bit on the table to make it easier to work with. Just like this, back and forth. And I'll show you, then we'll shape everything. And just go back and forth a little bit like this. And now what I want to do, now that it's almost like a log shape, so what I'll do is I'm just going to take this and pinch it with my fingers to create the tail. So you just kind of take and work it like this. You want to see how I'm making a point here? That'll be the tail. So just kind of just work it like that, and just keep pinching it and working it just like that. And I'll show you, just kind of work it like that. And you can see the tail starting to form. See how that is? You can, now this is going to be the top part of the tail, but we'll just keep working it. And then what I want to do is kind of squeeze it a little bit. And then in the front part, I want to work this so I can make the head. So you just kind of squeeze it. And then I want to kind of make the shape of the head like this. So let's see how I'm just working that. I'll show you from this angle here. We kind of want to make that, go like that, squeeze, and make, you can start to see the shape of the head forming. Just like that. I'll show you, I'll hold this one up here, the model here. See the head right here? See that shape up here? That's what we want to make, and that's what it will look like from the side. And we'll proceed to make that. We'll take it, and I'll just keep working it. Just like that. And then we'll just keep working it. Maybe I'll show you, just kind of keep squeezing it. I'm going to flatten this out a little bit. I'll show you. I want to just kind of work it. See that? It's almost like a U shape. Think of it almost like an upside down U, like that. we'll just keep working a little bit. And then what I want to do is kind of take this, lengthen it a little bit more, right here. And see this? See how I shaped that? It's very close to this one. See how I got the shape of the alligator? So I'll try to hold that more like that. See the head? And I'll show you how we're going to cut the jaw, make a jaw line, and kind of cut that in half. What we will do is, I have something that looks like a popsicle stick here. You know, you can buy these like in an art store, or you could even use, if you have a popsicle, you know, that you might have gotten like a grocery store, you can use one of those. Save it and just wash it off and use it. What we want to do now is take this and split this right here. See how I'm taking and splitting like this? Working it like that. See how I'm kind of working the, like just like that, to split it in half. We'll go back about there. I just want to see. So now, I'm just going to take and work that a little bit. And just like that. See that? Pretty cool. You just kind of, we split it, and then, you know, if the proportion's a little off, don't worry about it. I'm just showing you some techniques that you can use. And I'll twist the head a little bit. So now you can see this is the head, the back, the tail, and that's what it looks like from the side. And the next step in the process will be, I think we'll make the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take these two small balls of clay here, and we're going to make these into the eyes. And I'll show you what they look like on our model here. See this right here? I kind of like poked a little hole there. We want to use, round off the clay like that, and then I'll show you the other side. Right there. See how that is? Right there. And I'm going to take this now. Just take this in my fingers, and we're going to create that shape. So I'll just show you. See the eye will be that shape there. And we're going to place this on the alligator. I'm going to place that right about here. And you just kind of work it in like this. Just like that. Just like that. And see how we work that in? Work that in very nicely. We'll proceed to do the same on the other side. So I'll take this, make that shape in the eye, just like that. Just try to see that shape there. That's what we want. And then we'll proceed to put this, I'll pick up the alligator now. We're going to place this on this side right here. See that? I'm going to take that and just kind of work it in like this. Just like that. Just like that. Make the And then what we're going to proceed to do is I'm going to take some clay now, extra clay. I have a little bit on the side here. And we're going to make the nostrils. So I'm going to take a couple of little pieces of clay here. I'll show you the size that we want. Let me put these down. I'm going to take a couple of pieces of clay, make sure they're about the right size. And let's see, I got to make them. These are the two little balls of clay here. I'll put them in the palm of my hand so you can get a better view of them. That's the size we want there. So now I'm going to proceed to put that on the nose of the alligator. I'll show you what they'll look like on our model here before we do it. See these here? Those two little balls of clay? Those are going to be the nostrils. And we'll be poking them. I'll use a toothpick to make the eyes and poke holes in the nose there. We'll proceed to put this on the front of the alligator. So you take these here, we've already made them round, and kind of put those right on the front of the alligator, like this. I'm just going to work it in, just like this, just like that. And then I'll proceed to do that on the other side. See that, how I'm doing that? And just take your fingers and kind of work it in like this. Kind of work the clay in, just like that. So now you can see the head starting to take a shape. See how we get the nice eyes up here, and then we get the nostrils down here? I'm going to take a toothpick, such as this, which can be bought, you can buy them in the supermarket, and probably come with a box of like 200. I like these kind because they got the double points, but just be very careful when using them because they can be very sharp. I'm going to take this, poke this into the eye, and kind of just go back and forth like that. You get the eye there, and then we're going to go do the nostril now. So I'm going to poke it here. Just kind of see that, and you just kind of work it like this. See how we're just going to work it? See how that has a really nice effect? You can see the eyes and the nose. We'll do the same on the other side. We're going to take, and I'll poke the nose here. Just kind of rotate it a little bit like that. And then we'll proceed to do the eye. We'll put that in there, and we'll go back and forth. And it has a really cool effect. You see, you get the nice jawline there. Now we're going to proceed to make the legs, and I'll show you what we want to do there. See the legs here? We're going to make the two front legs here, and we'll make the back legs, and then I will proceed to show you how to make the feet. I'm going to take these balls of clay here, and just take them in your hand like this, and you can stretch them out like this. Just like that. And I'm going to be making the rear leg. So I'll show you. It almost looks like a boomerang type shape. See that? And then what we're going to do is we're going to make the feet. So I'm going to take this and work this like this, but then kind of flatten it out like a pancake. And that will be one of the feet. Just kind of work it like that. So this is what it will look like when you're done. See how it's got the nice flat shape here? Right there. Then if you see that from the side, see how that is? And you want to kind of have that curve. And we're going to do the same thing for the other back leg. And I'll show you how to do that. We'll take this, take the clay, squeeze it, make that shape again. Just like that. See how it almost looks like a little boomerang? Do that. And then you're going to take and flatten out the foot here. See how I'm flattening out the foot? Just like that. Yeah, let's see. So I want to make sure. See how I did that? And you can see that from the side. And we're going to proceed to put that on the back of the alligator. We'll proceed to put this one right here. So you kind of take and connect that to the body like this. See how I'm pushing that down? Work that in just like that. And then go all the way around, just like this. And you work it in. See how I'm doing that? And then you see how I just kind of take it, you pinch it with your fingers. I'm going to do the same for the other side. We're going to take and put the other foot over here, or leg, and then we're just going to work that in. See, I'm kind of taking, pinching it with my fingers, just like that. And do that. And then just work it like that. And then we're going to proceed to make the front legs. I'll show you how to do that. We'll take this now, and we'll just take that and you kind of pull it like that there, and just like that. And then we'll kind of make a little foot. See, I'm making that foot, I'm flattening that out, almost make it like a little U shape. But then see how it's flat? And you want to do that. And then we'll proceed to make the other one. We'll take this. We'll do the same exact thing. And just kind of pull it with your fingers. Let's see. That right there. See how I'm making that shape? And just almost, you see it's got like slight curve. And then we're going to flatten this out to do the foot. Just like this. See, I'm just flattening it out like that. And it'd be nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and see how I'm attaching that to the alligator? We'll just kind of take and work that clay in with your fingers, just like this. Just like that. And then we'll proceed to do the other side the same way. So you take this, see how I'm doing that? Just work that in, pinch it with your fingers, and we'll flip it over, and you do the same thing on the underside. Just like that. And now what we're going to proceed to do is I want to show you how to make the feet. So what we're going to do is take this, and you're going to see how I take the toothpick and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to proceed to do that for all 4 of these. So the next one here, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll proceed to do it on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do it over here. 1, 2, 3, and I think I'll do 4 there. So you can kind of see how I did the feet. And then the next thing that we would like to do is we want to make the scales. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you on the one that's already been fired in the oven. See the scales here? And how we would do that. And then we kind of have these little scales on the side also. But I kind of rough those up, and I'll show you how to make that. It's very easy to do. What you want to do is take and make lines like this. So you just kind of go along the back like this. Just kind of go like that. And just make the line like this. Just like that. See how we're making it very close together? And we're going to go right along here like that. Just like that. And we're going to go do the back the same way. We're going to just keep going See, I'm making that line. I'm going to do the same here. Just like that. I'm going to make the nice lines. And I'll show you how to. And then what we want to do is we want to crisscross these. So we'll come across like this. See how I'm doing that? You take, and that'll give it the nice scales. Just like that. It's a very quick and easy way to do it. Just like that. Now, we'll want to also do that on the tail. So you'll do the same exact thing on the tail. So you take this, see how I'm kind of going down like this? You might want to connect it to some of the earlier lines that we did. Or you can also do it from the other side too. You could take these lines down here, see, and just make a continuation from there, and just kind of bring it down to the end of the tail, and you just keep doing that for the top part. Just kind of work that down like that. And then you're going to crisscross again like this. So I'm crisscrossing that. And just like that. And you're going to proceed to do that for the back. Now for the side scales, what I like to do is I like to do something a little different. So I would probably just kind of make some little squiggly lines. Kind of rough it up a little bit. You kind of see I'm just kind of making little squiggly lines on the side. Just kind of rough up. Give it a little different texture on the side. Just like that. And just do the little squiggly lines like that. And I'll show you. You also want to do the same thing for the legs. So what you can do is make lines on the legs like this. I'll just show you how to do one. Just go like that. See how I'm making the line? Just like that. And you make one more. And then you go across like this. And you're going to do that in all four legs to make the scales. I'll show you what it should look like when you're done. I'm going to show you this alligator here before it was painted. See all the nice scales that we did? See that? And then you can also see this leg here. See how I did the crisscross on the leg? You can see the nice tail, the texture on the tail. And make those scales all the way around on the alligator. There. And then you can scruff up the face a little bit with those squiggly lines like I did in the side. And I'll show you, see the squiggly lines I did here? To kind of give it a rough texture. Try to do a little different for the scales on the side. So that's what it will look like when you're done with the sculpture. Now I'm going to proceed to show you how to paint it. What I like to do is use acrylic paints, which can be bought in any art store. And these are the acrylic paints. And the colors we'll be using tonight are green. We'll be using black, green and black, and that's what we'll be using for colors tonight. On the painted version that I'll show you a little later, I did do some teeth in that one, but I'll show you afterward, or I can even just show you now quickly. These teeth, like I've shown you in previous shows, like when we did like the shark head or the dinosaur head, you would make the teeth in the same manner. and you can put the mouth in, and you just keep it open. And what I did here on this one is I painted it red. You know, but on the version that I'm going to paint right now, I preferred to have his jaws closed. So I'll show you how to paint that. We're going to get some paint brushes. We'll use a paintbrush such as this for the body because it's nice and wide. And then we'll proceed to get a smaller brush such as this for the eyes because it has the tip's a little smaller. And that's what I'll use for that. I think we'll proceed to make the eyes first. I'll move these aside. And then we'll show you how to, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take the alligator here, and see the eye here? We're going to take and put this in here. Just like that. See that? And we'll proceed to do the other eye. We'll do the same thing. So I'll just get a little more. I might have to get a little more paint. It looks like it's getting a little dry there, so I'll take and put that in. Just like that. It has a nice cool effect. And then if you also want to do the nostrils, you can dab a little black in there too. Just like that. Because that will make them a little easier to enhance what they look like. So we'll proceed to use the green paint now. So what we want to do is paint the alligator. You can if you're going to paint the underside, I would suggest painting the underside here first, letting it dry, and then painting the rest of them. But I'll show you, just give you an example how to paint it. You want to do a back and forth motion like this. Just like that. Just do that. And you're going to go back and forth, back and forth. You're going to go all around the alligator in that manner. I'll show you how to do the legs. See the legs here, how we're just painting that on there? Just kind of work that in like that. Just like that. See, I'm just going to go back and forth here. And I'll do this here, the back and forth motion. And I'll show you how to, we'll proceed to do the other leg. See the back and forth motion here? Just like that. And then I'll show you how to do the body and the head. Right now we're painting the head. See, I'm just going to go back and forth there. And then you do the top of the head, just kind of do that back and forth motion. Then go up and over the eyes. So we're doing the eyes here. See that? I'll try to get that look. And then just keep going back and forth, just like that, to fill in those scales nicely. Back and forth, just like that. And I will show you what the painted version should look like. This one here is what it should look like when it's done. See, I did paint this on the underside. One of the mistakes or one of the things I did that you want to avoid is when I put it on the paper towel, it kind of picked up some of the paper towel. So what I would do is just paint over that with a little green, and you'll be all set if that happens to you. You want to paint the entire alligator green, do the eyes in black, and in this version here, like I said, I did the mouth, which was in red with the white teeth, and I had shown you how to do teeth previously on other shows, like I mentioned the shark earlier and the dinosaur head. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. And goodbye for now. Thank you.